Hi, it's Steve Israel, president of the Buyer's Edge. Just to talk a little bit about how we actually show houses, which is very different than what other people do. When we drive into a neighborhood for the first time with a new client or with a client, we're oftentimes talking about and actually having the research already done about other sales in the neighborhood and what the conditions have been in the neighborhood. So price has been rising or going down, and what is the kind of the general sales in the neighborhood, so that when we drive up to a house for even the very first time, the buyer has a predetermined set of realistic expectations about what the values of properties are in the neighborhood. And when you drive up to the house that has the little white picket fence that looks just perfect, you might realize before you even get out of the car that it's really way overpriced. So that's something that we always try to avoid, is getting to a house and not knowing whether or not it's even a decent value for the neighborhood. So at the very beginning of the process, in each neighborhood that we go in, each neighborhood that we go into, we're trying to help the buyer understand the basic parameters of the values in the neighborhood. And from there, when we do get to the house, we oftentimes get out of the car, and before we go up to the property, we talk about the condition of the roof and the lay of the land around the property, how water flows around the property. So if the house is on a big hill and the water's flowing from the back of the house, towards the front, then what happens with the water in the back of the house? Is it going up against the foundation of the property? And if that looks like it might be the case, is there a way to channel the water around it? And also, it obviously sets up something for us to look at when we go inside, to make sure that we're looking at that back wall of the house, especially hard to see if there has been any water that's caused any real problems. So this goes right into us and the way we actually show houses when we go in. We're talking about the quality of windows and doors and floors, and whether the roof looks like it has an active ventilation system in it or a passive ventilation system in it. And when we walk through and we're looking at appliances and cabinets, we're talking about the quality of the different fixtures in the house, the appliances in the house. And when we go downstairs, we're looking for signs of moisture in the past, for any current signs of problems regarding mold, whether we smell stuff, whether we're seeing any evidence of things. We always look at the furnaces, the electrical panels, and just, not because we're your home inspector. We're really not your home inspector. The fact of the matter is that what we don't want is for our clients to enter into a negotiation on a property without knowing the basic condition of the property and understanding whether or not they're going to have to spend a lot of money on it. This is very different than us going into a property and just trying to sell it. So obviously we talk about the positive things of the house as well. We talk about the flow and the light, and the colors and and all the good things about the kitchens and the bathrooms as well. But understanding a lot of the defects in a property and the difficulties that somebody might have to fix that property up is something that Buyer's Edge can do, because we're only representing buyers. We're just never in that sell mode. We're in a consultation mode. We're always helping people understand and evaluate properties correctly. So that's kind of our mantra, and always has been, is to not only help buyers find the best properties on the market, which is kind of the easy part because the internet's out there and most of the properties are available to be shown, to be seen on the internet. But our mantra is really to help you find the properties, evaluate them correctly, and then go and become your negotiator and negotiate the best possible deal on the best possible terms.